So now that you have a great idea, you got your team together, and you've got a topic that's workable, I hope you have a table of contents or at least a list of topics or modules you want to build. We have to choose an authoring tool. And I'm going to give you one of three options, and you can go out and find your own, but I think you'll like these three options. The first one is very familiar to you, it's Blackboard. And in this case, it's called CourseSites.com. When you go to that site, you're going to click register now and follow the requirements to register. Use your Seneca email. And when you actually go to register, make sure that you choose professor instructor when it says registering as. Don't choose student because then you won't be able to build. Student is only for people who need to take the course. Now, if you're in a team of more than one person, of course, only one, the technical specialist, is going to create the working account. The rest of you, I think you should create an account just to play around with it, dig in, try to figure out what's required. So down here, I'll put Seneca as an institution. You could put HST 860 if you like. It is higher education. Your current role is student, that's fine. And then the reason is test out CourseSites. Then choose a user ID, username and a password, confirm the password, etc. I think you're used to how to do this. Click submit, and you probably will get an email. Now, once you log in, you're going to see a standard page pretty much welcoming you to CourseSites. Now, you're not building a college or university, so there's a lot of things on the left you don't need to worry about, to be honest. We're not going to keep track of institutional grades, messaging out. That happens all within a course. You can go to your own profile, change a few things if you like, but ignore most of this, okay? So when you get to your landing page, go straight to courses. Now here's a cool thing. Blackboard starts you off with a sample course. It's called Fundamentals of Artificial Intelligence. That's just so you can poke around, see what the environment's like. You don't have to, but you could. And then they're giving you 10 free course options. You can build 10 different courses here and have a lot of users enroll in them. So actually you can have your family, your friends, or anybody go in as a user. As long as you create a user ID for them, they'll create a student account and they'll experience your course. Of course, for the purposes of my assignment, you need to be in there. You're the creator. Your teammates need to be in there. And I also need to be in there as a user, and I'll show that to you in another video. So this is the first of probably 2 or 3 different videos taking you right into CourseSites, and we're going to start by building a simple course shell. So have a look. You have 5 courses starting with 0, 2, 0, 3, 0, 4, 0, 5, and 6. They're called Ultra Course 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then below it, you've got Original Course 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 plus 5. Now, we're not going to use Ultra Course. You could if you like to explore. It's just a different look and feel than your original course. Now, because you are used to the original course format on Blackboard at MySeneca, we're going to stick to these. You can go to Ultra Course. In fact, Seneca is going to move to Ultra Course in a few months itself. So have a look if you like, but this is the way we're going to start. So I've already used up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But let me just go in and show you what you can do. So let me go to this one here, okay? Let's see what we got. So you click on the course title, and what you're going to come up with at the beginning is a whole lot of things on the main screen. So every time a learner logs into your course, this is the screen they're going to see. Do they need to? No, not necessarily, to be honest. You have to ask yourself, are you going to create this course as a moderated course where you are there for the learners at all times? Are you going to fill in these things on this screen? Yes or no? If you are, then keep it and then fill it in. Maybe on a daily, on a weekly basis. But if you're going to have a course where people log in, they experience the course material, and you are there available for them maybe via email, but you don't want to be an institution type person, then let's get rid of all this stuff, or pick and choose what you'd like to see. So for example, if you don't want to have my tasks, just click on the X, get rid of it. If you don't want what's new, get rid of it. So you can customize this. In fact, the user can customize parts of it as well. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get rid of it. So this is your home page, you see? Go on the menu on the left. Let me just close this. That menu looks familiar, just like Blackboard on my Seneca. But I'm going to delete. You see, delete that link. Delete and delete. And I like the fact that it asks you to click delete 3 times, because once it's deleted, it's gone. Now, you can always put a section back, but not the original the way it looked, okay? So I'm going to delete all of these. I'm going to start from scratch. I think that's the way you all should start. And let's get rid of help as well. Now, I'm going to show you what I'm going to do to build my course. First of all, I have actually laid out my course in PowerPoint, and I suggested that you can have a storyboarding kind of visioning process in PowerPoint or Word. And all that does for me is it allows me to see what each screen is going to have in terms of content, maybe roughly where my images will be. Okay, it's not going to be exact, I get it, but it lets you kind of see where things will be, the sequence of things. So you can do this in PowerPoint and Word or whatever tool you choose. In fact, if you already have a good vision for your topic, where things are going to be, images in your mind, I don't mind if you went right into CourseSites, built the course, and then in your report that you're going to submit, just do screenshots of each screen and submit that as your storyboard. I have no problem, okay? But the idea is I need copies of everything you've done in case your e-learning course disappears. We at least have documentation, okay? So my course that I'm going to do has a pretty nice landing page, and I want to teach people how to do a pre-flight check for a Cessna 172 aircraft. So let's see what I want to do. Next thing is I want to show people some information about what they need to know before they can start this course, what objectives we will cover in this course, and then I'm just going to start right into the sessions. So look, I've got about 9 sessions here. Each one has its own set of words, images, maybe video. So I have to think now, how do I want to lay this out? So these could be probably sections in a textbook. So under the first section, aircraft documentation, there might be 3, 4, 5 different subtopics called lessons, right? So you decide how you want to lay that out. So let's go. The first section I have is aircraft documentation. So see what I'm doing? I'm just putting maybe something nice, a title on the right side, some key terms on the bottom right, and some simple words. Nothing big, nothing overwhelming. I could have more than one screen if I like. And then I want to show them a video of actually a person doing a documentation check, and then I transcribe the video word for word, line for line, and I'm making it available via PDF. Okay, and then my next lesson starts, next lesson. Okay, you get the idea. It's in PowerPoint. Now, I'll be honest, you can probably save this PowerPoint, package it, and use that as e-learning as well. It could work. I mean, imagine you sent this out to 1,000 users, and they just automatically went from slide to slide, watched the videos and so on. That becomes e-learning, is digital learning. Of course, people can copy it then and change it, I suppose, unless you lock it out. But it doesn't offer you things like user control. Who's looking at it? How long did they look at it? Any quizzing, that sort of thing. So I'm not going to allow the use of PowerPoint as an authoring tool. CourseSites actually works well. So here's what I want to do. I want to take my vision that I have on PowerPoint and start converting it to CourseSites. Now you can copy paste a lot of it. Okay, so let's get started. First of all, you see the course title? It's Original Course IV4. I don't like that. So we're going to go down here to Control Panel, and your students don't see this, okay? Only you have access to this. I'm going to go to Customization, Properties, and I could change the name of the course right here to, let's call it Cessna Pre-Flight Check. Okay, so give it a good catchy name. And then over here, I'm going to type in a description. Now, you're already writing a description for your e-learning. It's that one paragraph, maybe 2 paragraphs, that think of it as an advertisement. If you're going to advertise your course, what would you say in 1 or 2 short paragraphs? Now, this description will show up before people register for a course, so they get to see the description, and it's important. Now, later, if you want to add images and so on, we could take care of it, okay? So write a good description. Go down to the bottom. Don't touch settings that I don't talk about. I do want to make the course available. I mean, you could develop it in draft mode, so not available. But since you don't have any users and nobody's going to find this course right now, just make it available now, okay? It is a continuous course, meaning it stops anytime. I could say select dates to start it and so many days before it expires. So I could say if you start today, the course is active for 30 days. I could do something like that. Don't do that for my assignment, okay? Leave it open. And down here, don't touch this stuff. Click submit. And there you go. My course is called Cessna Pre-Flight Check. All right? So let's go back. Now, you notice I don't have anything on my menu. There's nothing. There's no lesson. There's nothing. I'm going to add. So in this first video, I'm going to show you how to create a basic structure. Okay? See this plus sign here? Click it, and you get choices. You can create a content area, which is the one thing you're going to use more than anything else. Don't do module page, please. Once you're finished this assignment, you want to take a peek, go ahead. It's really not meant for our purposes. It's where you can create automated kind of navigational modules of topics. It's really difficult to lay it out. It takes a long time just to create the structure, so it's not for us. Blank page is good. We're going to start with that. It's just a blank page, like a web page where you can create, let's say, a welcome screen. All right. We'll look at tool links later, web links later, and dividers are simply just lines that separate items on your menu. Okay. So let's click plus. Let's do a blank page. We'll give it a name and we'll call it welcome, or hello, or all on board or something like that. Give it a catchy name. I will make everything available. So to skip a step, just make it available right now. And there you go. See, that's my first menu item, and this is the screen. So it is welcome. I can change the color of the title. I don't know, let's make it blue. And when you change colors, stick to a theme. Don't use 50 different colors, okay? I don't mind if each module had an anchor color theme. So users' attention is to, let's say, the green module and the blue module and so on. But don't jump with the colors, and be mindful of your audience and what colors they might appreciate. Okay, so I've got a title, fine. Now that first landing page, the very first page people see, that's important. It's like a cover of a book. And by the way, book covers are one page. They're not 2, 3, 4 pages. So whatever you design, make sure it's not scrolling left and right, up and down. Keep it sizable. So what do you want to put on here? I could do something like this. Welcome to Cessna 172 Pre-Flight Check. Okay? Or I could say welcome. Something like this. Okay, let me just drop it. Welcome to, or welcome. There we go. And those words I'll highlight. I'll change the font. Make it reasonably big. I could center it, I guess. I could change the color. So I've got some sort of a theme going. Maybe I'll bring attention, put it as blue. There we go. You can change the font, bold, italics, underline. You get the idea. Now, if that was your landing screen, I'd say, what the heck? That's like boring. Maybe we add an image. Now, a good image of an airplane would be great. I already have one. See, I laid it out. That's the image I want to use. Now, remember, create a folder on your desktop. And in that folder, put all of your material, the words, the Word documents, PDF documents, your images, your videos. And remember, cite everything. Anything you borrow from the internet, I'm allowing you to do it as a student. You're going to give proper citation. That's a big chunk of marks off if you don't. In fact, I'm not even sure if it's going to be a 0 if you don't. It's plagiarism, isn't it? So just cite everything. Every time you get an image from the internet, make a note of the website. You can do a proper citation at the end. Now, inside your e-learning, you don't have to cite directly on the page because that's going to look kind of odd. Within your e-learning, you could just have a separate page called Citations. Or, if you want, just in your report that you're going to give me, have all your citations at the end. Okay? But that's the image I want to use. And I do have an image, an actual file. So I'm going to go here and click this button. Insert Edit Image. I'm going to browse. I'm going to go to my folder, and it's called Aviation. And that's it's called Aviation Banner. So yeah, so I gave it a pretty good name. Naming your files is very important. So for example, this little clip, it's called Cessna. I will change that title to something meaningful. So let me insert, open it. Here we go. There's your AOTA requirement. Your image title is going to be aircraft, Cessna aircraft. The description will be aircraft hangar with people. Done? So description is simply, it'll be read out. So people with visual impairments, they have that read out to them. And the title is important because if image is there, sometimes the image doesn't show up. It shows up as an X. At least you can move your mouse over it and actually see the title. And it talks out loud for visually impaired people, right? So let's insert. And let's have a look. Now you can make this bigger and smaller. And don't forget, images don't necessarily come up with the exact size that you're looking for. So I kind of like it. Let's take a look. Let's submit. Now here's the thing. I forgot to tell you. On the top right, you've got edit mode. You're either editing or you're looking at the finished product. So let's turn that off. And that's what it's going to look like. Okay. Now I am doing this on a very large TV screen monitor. So of course it's going to fit. But I would probably try it out, test it out myself on a laptop with the smaller screen. And if you find that things are broken down and people have to scroll, that's not good. So you change the size of the images, okay? So let me turn edit mode back on. Now there is a preview button at the top. I tend not to use it because it's too many steps. I just turn edit mode on and off, okay? So let's go back to the image. If you right click, see the title there, by the way, showing up? If you right click on an image, go to image, you can now click on the appearance tab and change the size. So I'm going to size that down to something, maybe half, so roughly 1200. And because of height and width proportions are automatic, it's going to be 1200 by 400. And I'll put a little space around it, like 5 and 5. That's just an imaginary space around the image so the words don't get crowded up. And you can also put a border as well. Okay, so click update and click submit. Now let's take a look. So there's a lot of back and forth looking. Okay, it doesn't look like it changed for you when you see it now, but it has actually changed. And that's not bad. So that's a pretty okay landing screen. It doesn't really tell me much. I think I might want to copy and paste my course description, the one we just did. Maybe copy and paste it here somewhere. Let's go back to edit. I'm going to change that. I don't like that. So get rid of the image. I'll put that back. So click on the image, delete it. What I want to do is use a different technique. I want my picture on the right and my words on the left. Okay, something floating. Or you might want, let's say, a tile, 9 tiles with 9 different pictures laid out. So it looks pretty cool, something fancy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert a table. Because on the internet, you know, if you design something for a screen and somebody opens up your page on, let's say, a tablet or a phone, things get broken up. And isn't that irritating? You've seen it before. It's so irritating. So I'm actually going to put it inside a table because tables keep everything right where they are. And you know what a table is. So here I click on this button to insert edit table. And I want it side by side, so it'll be 2 columns, 1 row. So again, use your technique. If you want to do 3 columns by 3 rows, you're going to get 9 boxes. I'm going to put cell padding of 6. That's that space around the image so it doesn't get crowded. I'm going to click insert. Now take a look. I've got 2 boxes in a table. The table does not have a border because I didn't put a border. So in the first box, I'll put some words. But in the second box, I want to put my image. So click inside. You can also put a video, by the way. I forgot to tell you. Some people like to have their welcome screen not just a picture, but a welcoming video that starts automatically. Or a Powtoon, animated cartoon type system. And I have a separate video for that. So let me just put my image in here, okay? Click. Image button. Browse. There's my banner. And don't forget your title again, okay? So I'll just Cessna aircraft, and I think this is aircraft hangar with people, right? Click insert, and that's a bit too big. So right click on the image, image. And you know what? I'm gonna make it really small this time. Let's go like 300, all right? And I don't think I'll put the vertical space because we're inside a table. Let's take a look. Okay, that's not bad. Probably go a little bigger. See, so a lot of back and forth. Let's go maybe up to 800. See what happens. Okay, much more like it, right? So I'm going to take my title now, welcome, cut it, put it right inside the first box there. Do you see? All right, looking good, looking good. Now, I might want to make the image a bit smaller because my words are not looking the way they should be. So right click, image. Let's go maybe 500. And again, I could adjust it later if I like. There we go. That looks good. Now maybe right below these words, I'll put this course will take you through the required protocol to effectively inspect an aircraft before use, before operation. And then maybe you will go through 9 modules with videos and exercises. Okay, I didn't spend too much time writing that one. But I think this is too big. So I will make that, first of all, a different color. Maybe let's go with dark gray. I like that nice little contrast. Minimum size 12 on everything. And you be the judge. If you think that's too small, make it bigger. Okay. Now let's just space this out. I think that might work for me. That I might put something else in here, like a line or something. There we go. Okay, that's pretty good. Again, be creative. It's all you. Good. Now let's submit and take a look. So, I mean, if I wasn't talking, that would have maybe taken me 5 minutes, okay? There's a little remnant of a table there I can get rid of. So is this good enough? If you submitted this to me and I looked at it, this is the first thing I stare at. I really look to see, am I motivated by it? Do I really want to go forward? Of course, when I mark it, I will go forward, but yeah, no, this isn't full marks because obviously this paragraph here can be written better. I think we could make that image bigger, but I like the image. It's great. In fact, it's crisp, it's clean, but certainly I would want a little bit more. Okay, so now that is your welcome page. Once you want to start the course, what does a user do? Does a user know what to do next? Just get rid of that thing. Do they know what to do next? Well, maybe they do, maybe they don't. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a page over here on my menu, right? So you need the welcome page. Everybody has to have one. Second one is about the course or how to, and that's like guidance for you, for the user to see what the schedule is, what maybe the objectives are, any tools required, any tips or tricks you could give them, a little bit of guidance, scaffolding before they dive into your course. So let's do that. Let's click plus. And this time I'm going to create a content area, okay? And we're going to call this Get Started. Now, once a user goes through Get Started, you don't have to force them to do it again. But look what I get. I get a menu item called Get Started. Now, while we're here, I'm going to create my other menu items, okay? So by at least the end of the first week or after you finish watching this, I think you should have your menu structure ready because you know your main topics and your subtopics by now, okay? So I'll create plus content area, and we'll call this, so let's give it a catchy name. Like I have, let's say I have 9 module areas. For our sakes, let's just say 4. And inside each module or section, I'll have mini lessons, okay? So let's call this, rather than calling it session 1, session 2, I'm going to call it takeoff 1. Okay, that's kind of cheesy, but takeoff 1, takeoff 2, or something like that, okay? Takeoff 1. Takeoff means aircraft takeoff. I can change it later. We're just having fun. So takeoff 2. See, it doesn't take long. and it gives you perspective already. Of course, you can copy and paste, and I'm just going to leave it at 3. Is that okay? Now, maybe after this, I might have a content area called help. It's always a good idea to have help. People like to see the help button, I think. Now, inside the help area, when I click it, I'm going to add things kind of to show maybe an FAQ. If over the times that you've offered this course, you've had lots of questions from people, collect that data. And in help, have your FAQs. If I need them to download some plugins or software, or how to create an account, I would have it all here. Direct links. For example, I need you to get Adobe Reader. I need you to create a Google account. I need you to purchase some flight maps, right? So air maps or aeronautic maps. I'd have a direct link to where you could buy these. And that might be under help, okay?